You know how we were always told that we should use role prompting and all these different techniques whenever we're prompting AI or LLMs in general. And that definitely helps. But here's the thing, it's nearly impossible for us to predict exactly what information the AI needs to get exactly what we want. So I discovered something that's been really working well for me, and I use it almost all the time now. It's a super simple conversational technique that allows AI to understand exactly what you want. And the best part is you can try this in your very next conversation with any AI tool, and it takes literally 5 seconds to implement. So the issue is we spend all this time crafting like these elaborate prompts with the role, the task, the context, and everything else. And they do definitely help get better results, but even with all that effort, we're still trying to guess specifically what information AI needs to fully understand what we want. And the challenge is every request is unique, and it's basically impossible for us to anticipate all of the context that an AI wants for our specific request. We do our best with the initial prompt, but there's almost always something that we forget to include there, or we didn't think to include, that would have made the result way better. So what I've been doing is, instead of trying to overload everything on the initial prompt and guessing what would be helpful to the LLM, I just simply turn the chat into a conversation. And the simplest way to do this is, come closer, it's to ask AI to ask you any clarifying questions. I mean, think about it. When we're working with another person, we basically give them all the context that we deem would be helpful, and usually that person comes back with a clarifying question or questions. Like, what do you mean by this? Do you have already a working process that we can reuse for this? And the list can go on and on and on. So what I do is I simply say, please ask me any clarifying questions before proceeding. And I put this at the end of my prompt. And what I've found is that when AI asks clarifying questions, it really reduces misunderstanding and creates a much more targeted, specific result. Instead of AI guessing what I want, we're working together to get it right. So let me show you how this works with an example that we can all relate to, which is asking AI to write social media content. So we have a prompt here. So we gave it the role. You are an experienced social media manager. We gave it the task to create a LinkedIn post about productivity for small business owners. And we even added details here, right? That it should be professional but approachable, include actionable advice, and be around 200 words, and encourage engagement. Focus on time management strategies that work for entrepreneurs juggling multiple responsibilities. So let's send this out first without asking it to ask us clarifying questions. And there you go. It gives us this output. Fellow entrepreneurs, stop glorifying busy and start optimizing your time. This would be a pretty decent LinkedIn post. Now let's try the exact same prompt, but at the end, we simply add this line. Please ask me any clarifying questions before proceeding. And there you go. It gave us a list of clarifying questions, which we can simply answer by using numbers. So the answer to number 1, so it's asking, are you focusing on a particular type of small business? Let's go with e-commerce. Look at number 2. I never thought to include if this should be written from a first-person perspective or general advice. This is basically doing two things. So it's giving the AI the chance to gather more context, but it's also giving us a chance to ponder like what additional context we should give it. And it's all happening within this conversation through just adding this one line. What type of engagement we're hoping to drive, let's say comments. It's asking if we should go with LinkedIn's typical business tone or something more conversational and relatable. I want something more conversational and relatable. Are there particular time management challenges you want to address? Let's go with difficulty prioritizing when everything feels urgent. And format preferences, it's asking bullet points, numbered list. Let's go with bullet points actually. Now that we're happy with our answers, then we can just ask it to proceed. There you go. This is the LinkedIn post for time management for e-commerce entrepreneurs. And you can clearly see that it did consider the answers to the clarifying questions, right? So we wanted it in bullet points, so it gave us bullet points. And we wanted to get engagement for comments, so it's put the CTA here to comment below. So if you compare these results side by side, even with a well-crafted prompt, there was still some context that we could have provided to get a result closer to what we really needed. And the thing is, this doesn't just work with Claude Desktop. I'm in Cursor here, and I told it to ask me any clarifying questions you have before proceeding. And if we scroll down, lo and behold, it also gave me critical clarifying questions here, which I answered with basically the same way, numbering it 1 to 6. Since there were 6 questions. Then it proceeded to implement the plan. You might be thinking, isn't this an extra step? Doesn't it take longer? I mean, yeah, it does take longer. I mean, think about it this way. Would you rather spend an additional minute answering clarifying questions, or spend 10 minutes editing and refining the initial result that missed the mark? The clarifying questions help us skip a lot of the revision cycle, or skip it entirely even. Plus, I've noticed that if you start using this approach, you get a better sense of what details are needed for specific requests. So this will help you become even a better prompter overall. So here's how you implement this right now. I suggest you just prompt like how you would normally prompt. You don't need to change any of that. Then just add this line. Please ask me any clarifying questions you have before proceeding. And then answer the questions thoughtfully. This is super important because this is where the magic happens. It transforms your one-shot attempt into a conversational prompt where AI and you work together to get the exact result that you need. And this works with any conversational AI tool. And what's great about this is I'm not throwing away any of my prompting skills. It remains the same. I still prompt how I prompt. I just give AI the chance to gather additional context, and I give myself the chance to provide additional context. And usually from my experience, that makes all of the difference. So yeah, I urge you to really try this in your next AI conversation. I think you'll be surprised how much more useful the responses become when AI understands exactly what you need. So if this was helpful, hit the like button below and subscribe. And I also have one more prompting technique, same as this, where you just add one line to the end of your Claude conversation, and it gives you way better results. And you can get a lot of gains by combining this technique and this technique in the video in parallel.